I have a really, really good idea for a movie reboot of The Matrix. You could even cast Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne in their roles again, because they could still play them.
Yeah, they're fit.
Shot-for-shot remake. Up to the point when Morpheus offers Neo the blue pill and the red pill. This time, he takes the blue pill and stays inside the Matrix, and the movie becomes a workplace comedy. Guy has printer jams that he's dealing with. Maybe he has a little office romance going on. He has coworkers he doesn't like. And then throughout the day, Morpheus keeps returning and saying things like, Neo, I got 2 more pills. It's not too late. He tries to trick him.
Yeah. Dressed up as a UPS man this time.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. With every failure, Morpheus gets more and more discouraged. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the movie, he asks Neo if they're hiring. I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good. It might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to The Basement. On this show, we try to watch movies from all over. They end up being mostly American movies, but we do watch our share of foreign films. But our viewers might be shocked to know that there are entire continents we've never watched a movie from, including Australia.
Not March of the Penguins, for those of you hoping Antarctica.
According to Wikipedia, Australia's chief exports are oil, iron ore, and gold. But as far as I'm concerned, their chief export is box office gold. Hollywood movie stars. Hugh Jackman, Cate Blanchett, Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, the list goes on and on and on.
That singer guy Gotia?
Most of these A-listers got their start in Australian cinema, including tonight's star, Nicole Kidman. You're gonna see this fresh-faced young teenager peddling her heart out along with the rest of the BMX Bandits.
Yep, here we go. I have not seen this. I just realized it existed a few weeks ago.
Really?
And then I began thinking, I wonder when Matt's gonna pick that.
Released in 1983 and originally titled Water Rats, BMXB was directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, who wanted to, quote, capture the spirit of the Ealing comedies and British films of the 50s and 60s that were clearly aimed at children and delivered action and fun in a largely cartoonish way, unquote. Nicole Kidman sprained her ankle during the filming of this. They couldn't find a female stunt double who looked like her, so they used an 18-year-old man in a wig, who apparently looked like her. This film was nominated for 4 Australian Film Institute awards, winning none. After it was released in the UK, where it was a pretty big hit, The Guardian wrote, "There's a girl called Nicole Kidman who's rather good."
The shot heard round the block. Stanley Kubrick looked at it and was like, I shall hire her for my final project. She's good.
You know what's the secret to riding a bike?
A balance?
That's right.
Oh, hey, there we go. It's a little way for me to tell if I'm in a reality or not. It's a top. Wah! Caught it.
We're talking about a movie that we're about to watch on the old leather couch. BMX Bandits. Honk, honk. Horn, honk.
Oh.
I should have said ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Honk, honk.
Bad Australian accent, locked and loaded.
You missed. Is that his name, really? PJ and Goose are best pals and they love their BMX bikes. They're starting out at the top of the hill in Manly, New South Wales, and down they go.
I'm coming after you. Backwards. Forwards. They are BMX experts. BM experts. Goose and PJ's big dream is to open a BMX park where all the kids can ride their bikes.
Meanwhile,
across town, there's a suspicious white van parked outside of the bank, and inside there are some bank robbers. They put on their pig masks, and they rob the bank.
Calm down! Fill this up!
Do you have a separate bank for recyclables?
Nobody move for the next 5 minutes, or I'll blow a hole in your brain!
And don't call the pigs, or we'll come back.
Come on!
Johnson, Johansson, Henry, follow me.
All right, boys, we got to search every straw house, brick house, outhouse, and shit house in a 10-mile area.
PJ and Goose are going down to the shopping plaza. Hello. I apologize to our Australian fans, but it's just going to keep happening.
Judy's working her summer job at the market and she gets harassed by a fat kid. What's his name? Doesn't matter. He causes an accident between some shopping carts and our BMX boys, and the whole thing gets Judy fired. She needs to buy a bike, and now she's not going to have any money. And Goose and PJ, their bikes just got damaged.
Ron, Hermione, and Harry, they bond down at a video game parlor.
Oh, I remember when I would go to arcades and play Pepsi. It was such a fun game.
If we put our heads together, we can come up with something.
Like a lice outbreak.
Back at the hideout, the boss shows up. There's a big job coming up. It's not small potatoes like these other bank jobs, millions of dollars. And you know how we're going to do it?
All the way from the US of A. This puts us one step ahead of the law.
It's called a talkie-walkie.
Are you questioning my judgment?
I will go full Michael Caine on you if you do that.
Well done. You've been working on that, Matt?
Bank robberies are a cinch when you've got Billy Idol on your crew. He just goes into the bank, does this a couple times, get all the money you want. The walkie-talkies are hidden out by the docks.
Sunk underground in a waterproof thing.
Speaking of the docks... Hey, come on. This movie isn't called Boat Bandits.
You don't have to cut lunch, you know.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
I'm thinking he has more of a Flea vibe.
Yeah, I can see that. They find this weird submerged box. Goose says, hey, according to salvage laws, we get to just take this. Maybe there's something we can sell. They make off with the box just as the two crooks are coming. Hi, we stole your stuff. They find the box missing and they figure out it must be those kids who took it.
Walkie-talkies, they're worth a lot of money. And they're going to sell them down on the black kids market. That sounds bad. They're going to sell it on the kids black market.
They sell these walkie-talkies to all their friends. Oh, I think this fat boy's going to fall down soon.
How much you say?
$40.
That's my daily cookie budget.
If you were around in the late 70s, early 80s, you would understand the thrill of walkie-talkies.
They're walking around at night.
This reminds me of this really good movie I saw at the drive-in once.
In which there's a woman, she has two children, and they're allergic to light, so they can't go outside. Turns out they're ghosts.
Craig, you spoiled that movie that I'm not going to say the title of.
Yeah.
Why do you always have to think the worst?
I'm a nihilist. I practice nihilism. I'm so nihilistic. My favorite musician is Nile Rodgers. And these two goons, Whitey and Mustache, see him.
The kids jump over a fence into a cemetery.
They put on scary masks. They're going to get these kids.
Judy falls into a death pit. She falls into a grave.
That's how she sprained her ankle.
Is it?
By jumping into that open grave. And has an encounter with a rat.
It's me, Templeton.
PJ? PJ?
You know, PJ is just his nickname. His given name is Project. This is my hole. You're a guest. Leave me alone. Goose also falls into the grave and finds Judy. Do your duty and please that Judy. Judy's not into it, though. Nah, she likes PJ.
No worries.
I'm just gonna stay down here and cross this off my masturbation bucket list.
They escape from the cemetery. There's a wino there who sees these two weirdos in masks. Don't tell me they're going to do this bit. Oh, I hope they do. I really do. And he's going to have to give up the sauce. Yes! I love that bit. I love it. The next day, Judy goes to the bike store. She buys a brand new bike. And the two guys fix up their bikes.
Judy shows off her goods. She does this and a little bit of this. Oh, look at that. She just kind of stops it and stands on it. And then she starts it up again. Wow, this is the perfect woman.
These kids got a real Jules et Jim thing going on. I kind of like it. The cops can hear them on their radios, and they want to track these kids down because they're using an unauthorized frequency.
Maybe they can't hear you say.
Can't or won't?
Or shan't.
So now the cops are looking for the kids.
What are you doing? Safety first. Second and third.
The bad guys find Judy.
Look at those suits. Who do they think they are, a ska band?
Stop your messing around. Better think of your future. Judy.
A message to you, Judy.
A message to you. They pretend to be cops.
My partner here is from the old school, know what I mean?
We're going to play a little game called Fake Cop, Fake Cop. Because these walkie-talkies can communicate with other walkie-talkies, there is a series of mishaps around town.
But I want to know now. Now!
Crikey! Crikey! Walkie-talkies, why do they allow this technology on the streets? Oh no, this guy's a walkie-talkie too. All of Sydney or Brisbane or wherever the fuck they are is going to be completely destroyed by the end of this movie. This is actually the beginning of the Mad Max saga. Walkie-talkies on the loose in Australia. Boom, boom, boom.
I wonder what's keeping Judy.
The dingo ate your Judy.
She uses a walkie-talkie to let her friends know that she's in trouble.
And they ride off to her rescue.
Fat kid. I just have the word fat kid written down. This guy. This happens with the fat kid.
Hey! Come back! Oh!
Yeah!
Yes.
Fat boy fall down.
Now it's gonna look like I pooped white.
You've made me drop my sleepy wrister. Judy escapes the building. She gets to a boat. Ah, I've escaped you. But she doesn't realize that the boat is still tied to the dock.
Better luck next time, Judy.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Actually, just line.
Just then, Goose and PJ show up and save the day.
Whitey and Mustache give chase.
They take their bikes down a water slide. Slipping and sliding. Down, having fun. Mustache accidentally falls down the water slide, too.
Because of a fat kid. That's why it's written down here. Okay, fat kid pushes him down. Sorry, no offense if you're overweight out there. This is actually what he is billed as in the credits. Radical! Not radical! I hope they go down another water slide. And the car goes down the water slide. Come on. If this was a proper comedy, they would all suddenly be wearing nighties.
Every time the kids think they lose the goons find them. Sleepy wristers! Soon the car gets wrecked, and the kids get away.
Boop, boop, boo. So they decide maybe the best thing to do is just to go to the police.
They give back the rest of the walkie-talkies to the police.
Next time you find anything, you bring it to us.
Especially if you find a pizza. If we can somehow manage to get these bank robbers, there's a reward.
Stay out of trouble.
Or else it's a Thunderdome for you. We should try to get these guys ourselves because then we can get a reward money and then we can get a BMX park.
They sneak back into the police station, they steal the radios back, and they gather all their friends. We're going to track down these bad guys and then we'll get this reward.
We'll use our walkie-talkies and we'll use our bikes. They're going around hither and yon looking for things.
Chariots of Tyre. And meanwhile, we'll take this empty box. We'll give it back to the bad guys thinking that we're giving them back their radios. But the boss says, I'm taking Judy with me. If you guys try to double-cross us, she's gonna get it. But Whitey opens up that box and he sees that it's empty. What? It looks like it's curtains for Judy. But just then, the cavalry shows up.
They throw a bunch of flour at the bad guys.
Come on, you're coming with us.
Stop kidnapping me!
Whitey, Mustache, and the boss get into a truck, and Judy's there, and they have Judy.
One gets there by foot, one gets there by bike.
They climb on top. There's a tarp on top. They throw it over the windshield, and the truck crashes into a foamy fertilizer concern. And there's foam everywhere now. Smash cut to the BMX park has been built, and all the kids in town are enjoying it.
Yes!
Well, we've certainly had an eventful few days. Let's relax. Perhaps we should go have a picnic out at Hanging Rock. What does BMX stand for?
Be manly. Extreme. Manly Australia.
I almost buy that.
Buy more xylophones.
This is a type of movie. I don't know what you would call it. It's a movie that's about a thing, and the movie is all about showing us that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And things like plot and character and story are secondary.
Yeah.
What would you call that type of movie?
The word you might be looking for is advertisement.
So you think this is BMX propaganda?
No, it just turns out that way. That's what it's trying to sell you, whether it wants to or not.
I did like the stunt riding of this. We were talking about the awards that this was nominated for.
Yeah.
I think one of those awards was editing. And the editing in this was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, all the different angles they get, of the bikes zipping around, and...
For action sequences, it needs to show the setup so you know where the action is going to take place. Show us where you're going, and then show them doing the thing. Don't just show them doing the thing. You need a little bit of a setup. This is a Jackie Chan rule. It was like that in Italian Job. Do that! If you're not familiar with the region that this is filmed in, you don't know that they're going into a water park. They're just suddenly going down water slides.
Okay. I'm thinking specifically of just the bike chases. There was something very Mad Max about the coverage they got.
This does have some shared DNA with George Miller.
Well, let's talk about Nicole Kidman. She's got a charm that really transcends the general crappiness of the plot and the story.
She's not great yet, but she is better than everyone else in this movie.
And you can see that star quality.
If you look at the scene where she's been kidnapped and she's trying to talk her way out, and she's going through that big long monologue about this movie that she saw, she's very, very strong in that very stupid monologue. She makes it so it doesn't sound like the most idiotic thing in the world. She's very pretty in this, but she doesn't have that striking, I'm one of the most beautiful women in the world looks yet.
But she still looks like the prettiest tomboy in town.
Yes.
And we all know from going through puberty that that is a very special kind of attractiveness.
How about mustache and whitey? They're comedy stylings.
I didn't care too much for that comedy. There was too much anger and too much menace on their part for the comedy to work. I think if they had cooperated with each other more, if they directed their frustration at the kids instead of at each other, I think the comedy would have worked better.
Idiots in agreement is always funny. That's
Yeah.
why Dumb and Dumber works so well, because like, that's idea you had is the best idea anyone's ever had.
Let's do it.
Yes. So you scoured the land down under, you passed over Baz Luhrmann, Peter Weir, and George Miller, and you said, here it is. This is the one. I'm choosing BMX Bandits.
It's another bicycle movie, which we've already had. It's another heist movie, which we've had many of. So, I don't know. Maybe there are better choices I could have made. But goddammit, I chose BMX Bandits.
This movie is perfect for very young kids. This is what the director was going for. This is a child's fantasy. I'm going to be just a little bit naughty. I'm going to help solve a crime. I'm going to be kidnapped, or I'm going to save my kidnapped friend. I'm going to meet a girl, and she's going to be cool. If I was 8 years old when this movie came out, I would have loved it. But I was 10 years old, and I was too smart by then.
As the BMX Bandits pedal off into the sunset, it's time for Seen It.
Seen It!
Seen It is the part of the show where we read your suggestions for movies, but we tell you that we've already seen them. Tonight's Seen It theme is chained movies. Movies that are connected by common threads. Or chains, I guess. Threaded movies doesn't sound very good.
Well, you do thread filmed through a projector.
Nice.
Yes.
The victorious one writes, "Hey guys, have you seen Night on Earth by Jim Jarmusch? It's a really funny movie, but I also find it kind of sad and melancholic. Seen it."
Seen it. Jim Jarmusch tells 5 stories. They're all roughly the same length, and they happen in 5 cities around the world.
They all involve 5 different cab drivers.
The movie gets better the farther east it progresses, so that you do have the hysterical Benigni monologue that he gives to that priest, and you have the terrifyingly sad monologue that the Finnish guy gives to his passengers.
And I really don't remember the Los Angeles one.
Winona Ryder and Gina Rowlands, and you don't remember it. That's the problem.
From that Jim Jarmusch movie, we go to another Jim Jarmusch movie, which is...
Jenny Penchev writes, "Have you fine lads seen Patterson? It stars that Adam Driver kid Craig was going on about before Star Wars 7. Yes, seen it.
I have seen it.
He does not make very fast-moving movies, and this might be his slowest movie.
It's got the cutest little antagonist you ever did see.
It takes place in Patterson, New Jersey, starring Adam Driver as a man named Patterson, and he's
a poet.
And his favorite poet is William Carlos Williams, who wrote a book called Patterson. And this movie does play out like a symphony, where you have all of this repetition going through it. Patterson, 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 William Williams. Twins abound in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't get the twins.
Yeah. Every day follows a pattern. Patterns lead to coincidence, and coincidences make us feel as though life has meaning. just like poetry makes us feel like life has meanings. It's beautiful in that regard, but I will say that the one flaw of this movie is that it's boring.
I didn't find it boring.
I found it to be pretty drab and dry.
I suppose one could also look at those poems as being boring then, because he's just writing about matchbooks, and he's just writing about, you know, these things. And those poems are from a real-life poet who wrote all those.
Yes.
He very skillfully throws out a huge red herring to distract you from the real thing. He throws out that the dog is going to get stolen, when the real thing is, you got to make copies of your poetry book. Because that cute little French bulldog is going to destroy your life's work. Well, from that movie starring Adam Driver, we go to another movie starring Adam Driver. The Adler 000 writes, please talk about Silence, a complex film of brilliance from a master. That master would be Martin Scorsese, and I've seen it.
Seen it.
This is a movie about the persistence of faith. Faith enduring under the worst conditions. I'm really not sure how I feel about this movie. How do you feel about it?
I loved this movie.
Yeah.
I think it, in my opinion, it's Scorsese's best since Goodfellas. While watching it, I was struck by how not striking the movie is, because one of the things about Scorsese is that he's got all these tricks, all these fireworks going off. He drops all of that aside. Maybe it's his most Catholic movie since Mean Streets.
Maybe his most Catholic movie?
Well, since Mean Streets. I'm not a religious person, but I was just so moved at how much people needed the priests and how they needed salvation in the movie.
This movie really engaged me, but I don't know that I would say that I liked it.
It's a hard watch.
Stick to the streets, Marty!
Or don't. I'm all for you doing more sequels to Silence.
Silence 2, 13 Catholic Assassins. And from that Martin Scorsese film, we go to another one.
Christian McDougall. I saw Shutter Island for the first time about a week ago. Great movie. Seen it.
Seen it.
It's fun. I think it's fun. Some people count it as one of Scorsese's worst. It's a great pulp detective horror movie.
I really like the mood and the atmosphere of it. That was my favorite part of the movie. And it has a nice little twist.
And the nice little twist leads to a big no. No! That actually works because, yeah, I would be screaming no up to God too at this particular moment, because this is horrible. This is the worst thing that could happen to anyone in the entire world.
If you have a suggestion for Seen It, be sure to leave it in the comments. It might be featured on Seen It. Also, check out our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. There are PayPal donation buttons. You can make a rolling monthly donation or a one-time donation to help support our show.
Who's done this?
Joe, who says, R.I.P. Ernesto. What a good kitty. Thanks, Joe. And he says, have either of you seen Zootopia? I have not seen it, but I know Craig has.
Yeah. It's a story about what if wild animals were the humans. It's a cartoon about race and culture and prejudice that one people have for another. In this, there are no cats or dogs because they are domesticated wild
Part
animals.
of human society.
Yes.
BMX Bandits. We watched it, and you did too, kind of. And now, this.
Have a nice day.
Come on, Frosty.
You got us. Or did you? Smash. You're in a boat full of trouble. Smash. I'm going to keel you. And it's going to hurt one hull of a lot.
Are you questioning my judgment?